Hi, everybody. Welcome to the HITI pregame show. A pleasant Friday to you wherever you may be. I know it's been a while since I've been on here. I was on the Instagram yesterday of Halos in the Infield, but back now. We'll see how many of these pregames I can knock out in a row. I had a little streak going there, and then work got in the way, and well, I'm back now, for better or for worse. The Angels will take on the Kansas City Royals for 3 games here, 16, 17, 18 of this weekend in June. The sun's out, so the fun's out. Um, but the first game here in Kansas City of the 3 game series will be at 5 o'clock. The Angels come in at 39 and 32. The Kansas City Royals are 18 and 50. They now have the worst record out of everybody in the American League. With the Angels, the last series wrap, Angels took 3 out of 4 in Texas, which I believe hasn't happened in a while. You would think. I mean, even when the Rangers were building, the Angels were still failing. I could think of maybe a couple decades ago, 2008 or 9, maybe the last time the Angels maybe even took a series in Texas, maybe 2014. But it's just amazing to think they did well. They were able again take 3 out of 4 last night. Ohtani got the win. Ovadi got the loss, and that was a real hard fought win. Logan Webb came in after Estevez really didn't have it to get the save, so Webb gets his first save, so that was good to see. Ohtani also homered. Moniak and Wallach both homered as well. Ohtani's on a good streak right now. He had 4 home runs in that Texas series, and 9 it seems like in the last couple of weeks. So he's been really hot. Moniak, Wallach, Moniak, and Ohtani both had a couple of RBIs. Wallach had 1. Ohtani, you look at his line, he went 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs given up, only 1 walk. So that was really good to see. The Angels are in top 10 in walks for sure. Had 3 strikeouts. The bullpen came in, did fairly well. Other from Estevez, but you could tell he didn't have it. He was trying to get that streak of 19 straight to start the season by Lee Smith, but he couldn't get that done. So he's going to have to start another streak, another game. Hopefully that doesn't affect Estevez going forward, but we'll see because little things like that can mess with your confidence. But Phil Nevin, you saw he grabbed, Estevez by the collar, said, "Hey man, I gotta do what I gotta do." Estevez took a step back, then took off off the mound, and went in the dugout. But Webb, it's a good confidence booster for him. So I really enjoyed that part about it. So that was it. That series in Texas. Kansas City, their last series, they were swept by Cincinnati. And the interesting thing about Cincinnati, as I'm not, for some reason, I'm going around the league here, but they're 34 and 35, third place in the NL Central, and only 1 game back now, first place Pirates. So Kansas City coming in playing the Angels here, they are on a struggle. They've lost 9 straight, by the way, for Kansas City. Let's look at the standings real quick. The Angels are 39 and 32. They're 4.5 back of first place Texas, 1 game back of second place Houston. And for the wild card, the Angels are 1 game back of the third wild card spot and the second wild card spot of Houston and New York, the Yankees in the American League. Baltimore has the first wild card spot by 4 games. Tampa Bay was the first to get 50 wins yesterday. They, of course, lead the league in that. Texas, 42 wins. Minnesota as the central leader at 35 and 34. It's a sure thing that they will not get a wild card out of any of the centrals this year, you can imagine. The Braves have 43 wins, by the way, to lead their American League or National League, I believe. Yeah. So It just it's an interesting time. Kansas City, by the way, uh, not only are 18-50, they're 20 and a half back of the wild card, and then in the Central, they're 16 and a half back in last place in that AL Central. So it's a hard times for them, let's just say, going forward. Speaking of hard times, and the Angels news coming up here, of course, going Halos in the Infield, the Twitter feed, the news is right there like that. Fernando's on it, on the Instagram as well. You can just see it all come up. So the news is, as we invite you, of course, to vote for your favorite Angel All-Stars for the All-Star game up in Seattle this year. That, of course, will be on the 11th. Yeah, on the 11th there. I kind of wish the All-Star game would be on the weekend, like on a Saturday or Sunday, but I don't know if we'll ever get to that point. But yeah, vote for your favorite Angels, Ohtani and Trout, and then whomever else you want. So the Angels made some transactions today. They recalled infielder Michael Stefanik from AAA Salt Lake City. I remember seeing that yesterday, just because Rendon got hit in the wrist, but he was able to play throughout the game, which was kind of a shocker. And then Gio Urshela was trying to get to first base on a ground ball, and he unfortunately will go on the 10-day IL with a left pelvis fracture. And you can see he was grabbing for something right away on that left side, and that's nowhere you want to mess with for sure. So Urshela out, Stefanik up and in. We'll see how the lineups go as they come up, but it's really unfortunate, that's for sure. But more news always comes up. There's always something, it's always something with this Angels team. Let's get to the starting pitchers. So today, Patrick Sandoval, the lefty, he's 3-6 with the 4.152 ERA, 63 innings and 2/3 pitched, 32 earned runs given up, 67 hits, 48 strikeouts, 25 walks, 5 home runs, and this will be his 13th start. His last start came on 6/10. Remember, that was HITI night at Noble L Works. Why do I have coasters? Against Seattle, he got the loss. He went 5 innings, 10 hits given up, 5 earned runs, no walks, and he struck out 8. So, man, if he didn't give up those hits and those runs, he would have had a better outing. He's got 92 miles per hour forcing fastball, 83 miles per hour changeup, 86 on the slider, 76 on the curveball. And then he's kind of experimenting with the sweeper at 81 miles per hour. The strikeout pitch he should really go to is that 92 miles per hour sinker. It's just amazing to me, too, when I think about it. The sinkers now are like high, early 90s. Where it's like 91, 92, 93. Growing up, the sinker to me was like 81, 82. So it's amazing how, yes, that whole thing about, hey, athletes are getting faster and stronger in the future. Well, here it is. For Kansas City, their starter will be right-hander Brady Singer. Brady Bunch. 26 years of age. He was born in Florida in 1996. He went to the University of Florida, the Gators. He was drafted by Kansas City in the first round, 18th overall, and he made his major league debut on July 25th, 2020, in that shortened 60-game season. This season, right now, he's 4-5, 6.58 ERA, 64 and 1/3 innings pitched, 76 hits given up, 60 strikeouts, 47 earned runs given up, 26 walks, and 9 home runs. This will be his 14th start of the season. His last start was also 6/10 that Saturday at Baltimore, which is a tough lineup to face. He went 4 and 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. He's got a 92 miles per hour sinker. I'm just going to call it. It says fastball, but really it has some sink to it. You'll notice it. And we'll go through his real quick, his zone. And what's great, you could find all this on Baseball Savant. That's where I go to find everything that I need to look up things. It's really good. So let's see about Singer here. As yeah, there it is. So the sinker, you're gonna find that pretty much in the zone there. Again, I call it's a fastball, but it's a sinker. It's kind of middle in to right-handed batters. The slider will be kind of down in the dirt to the right side of the box. If you're facing, I guess the batter. Changeup is lower portion of the zone you'll see, and then the sweeper is kind of lower portion as well, but he really throws that. It'll be interesting to see 84 miles per hour in that slider, and then 88 on the changeup, 81 on that sweeper. But we'll see if he even tries the sweeper today. So that's Brady Singer. That's the pitching matchups for everything falls. Okay, here we go. If you're looking for tickets, go to 714 Tickets. If you're looking for Angel tickets, anything, Dodgers, San Diego Padre tickets, Galaxy, LAFC, the U.S. Open, NASCAR tickets, it's all there. The Conceros, Carol G, Peso Pluma, Grupo Firme, Banda MS, Junior H. E. Nathaniel, Esteban Armado, Marca MP, Grupo Frontera, Fuzera Regida, and then Carlin Leon. Thank God last name was easy to say. So Concedo's right there. The top concerts, of course, Taylor Swift, Dead and Company, Ed Sheridan, Muse, Blink-182, Shania Twain, Beyonce, Depeche Mode, Hauser, Metallica, Madonna, and of course my favorite, Paramore. Also, I'll be looking for concert tickets with 714 Tickets because they'll give you great deals on those events. And right now, if you put in that code HITI, 10% off. It's a great deal there. No hidden fees and checkouts at checkout as well. So it all worked there. And then you'll be in the purchase when you put that code in HITI for 10% off. You'll be in the drawing for a free Halos jersey, courtesy of Halos in the Infield, and 714 Tickets. And then, on top of all that, you'll get 5% cash, or 5% back on your purchase. And then you could use that on further purchases and the code as well. And then for the HITI tailgate, you got to call 714 Tickets directly for those HITI special tickets. When you call in there, that number, of course, let me bring that up here. It is 714-842-5387. The number again, 714-842-5387. That's the number you have to call for those special 714 tickets. The last day that those tickets will be available will be the 25th on Sunday. So next Sunday. So you got to do it by then. The HITI special tailgate tickets, of course, come with the bobblehead inside the stadium. Then you'll get a T-shirt. What is it? This T-shirt, black T-shirt, but with the HITI logo like that, wrestling. It's inspired. You guys taught more about that. I don't know much about wrestling, but it's a good deal there. You get the shirt, or you can eat tacos, drinks, bring your own drinks, other drinks, helmet nachos for the kids, thunder sticks, and a chance to talk, congregate there at the tailgate by the Big A. It's going to be a great time. Another sponsor is a local brewery called Local Noble Ale Works, you'll see right here in Anaheim. Visit that location on 1621 Sinclair Street, Suite B, Anaheim, California, 92806. Mention HITI when you're there for drink specials and also free parking there for Angel games. But you have to mention Halos in the Infield for that. So I tried their local brews at one night, as well as the cinnamon roast crunch golden milk stout with or without coffee. It was really good stuff. Then check out that Cocoa Puffs brew as well. That is really good. Check out the tasty eats from the various local food trucks that you'll find the schedule, what food trucks are coming in on their Instagram page on Noble Ale Works. You'll find the food truck schedule, and there's always some type of barbecue going, pizza, all the good eats. So check out Noble Ale Works on their Instagram page, website for all their information. Good stuff. Okay, why do I have all these coasters? Anyway, please check out the HITI podcast. There was one that came out, reviewing the last series against Seattle and then a couple of games against Texas. There will be another one probably after Sunday's game on Father's Day before we preview the Dodgers. That would be, of course, Todd Fernando and Todd Fernando and maybe Courtney. Remember, the Dodgers come in 19th, of course, is an off day, and 22nd is an off day. So the Angels have a couple off days coming up looking at the schedule. So it's 3 with the Rose here, Monday, Thursday off. Tuesday, Wednesday, though, you have the Dodgers coming in at Colorado on the weekend, next weekend. 4 with the White Sox here, and then 3 with the Diamondbacks there at the Big A. Of course, July 1st will be that tailgate. Check us out, of course, on the HITI social pages. It's all right there. So let's go to the starting lineups, and they're just about out right now. So let me get those set up. I had it. I don't know why I got rid of it. There it is. We'll see. Urshela just came back too, and it's really unfortunate that he got hurt. He's trying to run out that ground ball again, and that was really unfortunate. Of course, both games on the Bally Sports networks in the regions of Kansas City and out in Southern California. Tomorrow, by the way, the game at 1 o'clock, that'll be on FS1. Father's Day, that game will be at 11:10 on Bally's. Okay, so let's get to the starting lineups. Leading off for the Angels, you have Mickey Moniak, the left-hander. He'll be in left field. Batting second is Shohei Ohtani, the designated hitter. Batting third will be Mike Trout, the center fielder, and he'll need to get going. Batting fourth is Brandon Drury, the second baseman. Batting fifth is Matt Thaiss, behind the plate catching. He had yesterday off. Batting sixth and back off a day off was Hunter Renfroe. He'll be in right field tonight. Batting seventh is Jarrett Walsh, the first baseman. Batting eighth is Luis Rengifo, the third baseman. And then batting ninth, and just coming up, he made his season debut yesterday, will be Andrew Velasquez, Squid as we know him, at shortstop, again batting ninth. For the Texas Rangers, for the Kansas City Royals, leading off will be Nick Prado, number 32. He'll be their first baseman tonight. Batting second, of course, is Witt Jr., the shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. He's having a good year. 11 home runs, 31 driven in, 21 stolen. It looks like he's leading the team with all of that. Batting third will be Edward Olaveres. He's a designated hitter there. Batting fourth is MJ Melendez, the right fielder. Batting fifth at third base will be Garcia, Mikael Garcia, number 11 there. Batting sixth is former Angel Matt Duffy at second base. Batting seventh will be the catcher behind the plate, of course, Freddie Furman. It's an interesting last name. Batting eighth will be their center fielder for Kansas City, Drew Waters. A lot of these, no disrespect, a lot of these players I've never heard of, to be honest with you. And batting ninth, their left fielder will be Daron Blanco, number 44. He's 30 years of age, probably a journeyman when you think, oh no, from Cuba. He made his major league debut last year. So shout out to him making it up from Cuba. Those stories are always something special. All right, so that's the lineups again. Moniak leading off and Squid rounding it out. Ohtani batting second, Trout third, and Drury back from suspension from yesterday. He's back tonight. So again, it's left-hander Sandoval going for the Angels, Brady Singer going for the Kansas City Royals, the right-hander. Sandoval, and I mentioned this to myself, I'm thinking maybe this is going to be the start of something good for Sandoval. He needs a good start to get going because the Angels will need him down the line. There's no doubt about it. He's got to fare well. He's got to fare better. Detmers did his job. Ohtani did his job yesterday. It's got to be Sandoval. Barria's doing well. Canning's doing better than anyone, which is a shocker. Now it's time for Sandoval to get going. That's for sure. Let's get to some scores and previews. There was one final, and it's kind of a shocker. The Cubs improved to 32-37. They defeat the Orioles. They're doing well this year, of course. 10-3 at Wrigley. The Cubs win. Cubs win. Coming up at 4 o'clock here, you got Miami at Washington, St. Louis at the Mets. And these two, St. Louis and the Mets, are maybe the most disappointing teams going so far. You can throw in the Padres, but they've played a little better as of late. St. Louis, worse in the NL, 27-42. The Mets are 32-36. They're fourth place in that NL East. They've had injuries. Remember Diaz in the WBC. Verlander's been out a couple of times. Scherzer hasn't been that good. Offense really hasn't been scoring. For St. Louis, it's weird because their pitching is so up and down. Remember when the Angels faced them it was in April. The Angels swept the Cardinals, and it felt like St. Louis was a bunch of imposters. I don't know. Maybe it's Contreras being there is odd, and I really don't know how the Cardinals are this bad. Maybe it's pitching, bullpen ERA. Jack Flaherty was supposed to be really good, but he's been mostly off instead of on. So it's really odd to see. By the way, I remember the Angels, what was it, in May, they took 2 out of 3 from the Royals at the Big A. Just wanted to put that out there. They had a crazy game, I believe on that Saturday, in which the Royals won, but the Angels took Fridays and Sundays games. The Yankees will take on the Red Sox. We see that matchup too much on national television. At Fenway there, Colorado at Atlanta, and then later on you have Texas hosting Toronto. So that should be an interesting matchup there. It always seems like the AL East will have some type of good matchup where they're playing each other or they're playing someone, as good as Texas. Whenever the Angels eventually play someone from that AL East, the first 4 teams that may be in the playoffs there, it's always important games. Cincinnati taking their hot ways going to Houston tonight. Again, you got the Angels and Kansas City. All these games at 5 o'clock, as well as Detroit at Minnesota. That's the second game of that series. Pittsburgh at Milwaukee at 5. At 6:40, you got Cleveland at Arizona. Arizona trying to hold on to that NL West lead. And then to me, what I think is the series maybe of the other from Toronto and Texas. Yeah, other from that series. Tampa Bay goes to San Diego. And if I wasn't busy, I would have gone to this game, one of these games this series. But at 6:40, Tampa Bay at 50 wins, the first 50 will take on the Padres in San Diego. So that's going to be a fun matchup. The Phillies, who have been hot as of late, also at 6:40 will take on the Oakland A's, who are 19 and 52, and maybe on their way to Vegas for sure. San Francisco, surprisingly, at 36 and 32, will take on the Dodgers in LA, and that is, of course, the longtime rivalry there. The White Sox, left LA, believe they got swept by the Dodgers. They will take on Seattle. So, as we again, I think it's so early to look at the standings, but I did. I told you about them all. So I'm a hypocrite in that form. Always good to see the division opponents lose. So hopefully the White Sox, Toronto, and the Reds can give the Angels some help here. Again, the Angels Royals coming up at 5:00. We will see you hopefully tomorrow for another edition of the Halos in the Infield live pregame show here on the network. We'll see you probably around noon tomorrow. I'm hoping I don't get called in or whatever, so I can host that. And of course, Sunday around 10 a.m. for a special Father's Day edition. Well, not special, but I'll be here for that. Again, 3 games with Kansas City, day off, 2 with LA, and then another day off before next weekend in Colorado for 3. So everybody take care. Go Halos. Make sure to check out the Todd Fox post-game show after every Angels game. And then hopefully on Sunday I can fill in for that. So everyone take care. Go Halos. Later.